Determining the motor response time to a sound stimulus. This experience is a clinical example of a response-stimulus situation, where a person hears a stimulus and responds to it in some way. There are two key factors in this situation: reaction time and effect. Response time is the time between when the stimulus is presented and when the person begins to respond to it. The effect is the acquisition of a sign or skill. The delay between the signal and the response occurs because of the time it takes for the centripetal signal to travel to the center, and for the brain to send outgoing signals to the muscles. Objectives: 1. To learn and observe the effects of physiological processes on reaction times. 2. To compare reaction times to stimuli with known, predetermined intervals, and to pseudo-random intervals between stimuli. 3. Calculate the mean values of. The list of materials is presented on the screen. Setting: 1. Turn your computer on. 2. Enter your password. 3. Insert a USB storage device. Attention! Use USB storage devices with a capacity of 1 to 4 GB. 5. Turn on the BIOPAC MP. 6. Start the BIOPAC Student Lab program. 7. Select Lesson LREACT-1 and click OK. 8. Name the file with the patient's last name. 9. Click OK. Setup procedure complete. Calibration. Prepare the patient for the calibration registration. The patient should be placed in a relaxed state with headphones on, eyes closed. He should hold the manual switch with his dominant hand, so that his thumb is ready to press the button. If the sound in the headphones is too loud, you can place the headphones a little farther from the ear to reduce the sound. Click Calibrate. Before the calibration begins, a window that appears will remind you to click when you hear the click. Click OK to begin recording the calibration. Press the manual switch when you hear the click. When the manual switch is pressed, the patient should quickly press and then release the button. You should hear a click for approximately 4 seconds per registration. Wait for calibration to finish. Calibration will last for 8 seconds and will automatically stop. Registering lesson data. Registration will pause automatically after 10 clicks. Prepare to register. You will be recording 4 lobes. With each demand you should press the button as soon as possible after the click occurs. Lobes 1 and 2 represent stimuli at pseudo-random, 1 10-second intervals. Fractions 3 and 4 represent stimuli at set intervals, every 4 seconds. Execution algorithm. Prepare the patient and supervisor for registration. The patient should be in a relaxed state, with the headphones on with the eyes closed. The patient should hold the manual switch with his dominant hand so that his thumb is ready to press the button. The supervisor should observe the screen and operate the record and resume buttons as required. Share 1, Pseudo-Random Test 1. Click on Record. When you click record, the pseudo-random signal test begins, and a marker indicating pseudo-random will be inserted automatically. The patient must press and release the button at the sound of each stimulus. The stimulus clicks at pseudo-random intervals, but no more than 10 seconds. As soon as you hear the click through the earpiece, press and release the button. Examine the data on the screen. After 10 clicks, the final entry should look like this. The data may be incorrect if 1. The registration did not capture an answer for each click. Note, you are allowed to skip some answers, but if you skip more than 2, you must redo the registration. 2. The response curve occurring before the case marker indicates that the patient responded prematurely. If the length of the response curve extends into the next marker, it indicates that the patient pressed too long. Share 2, Pseudo-Random Test 2. Click Resume. When you click resume, the registration will continue and the marker marking repetition of pseudo-random signals will be inserted automatically. The patient must press and release the button at the sound of each stimulus. A case marker will be automatically inserted every time the stimulus is clicked. Also, each time you click, the rising response curve will be shown on the screen. Examine the data on the screen. If correct, go to the next step. If incorrect, click redo and repeat the previous steps. After 10 clicks, the recording should resemble the one shown on the screen. SHA-4 test with known interval 1. Click resume. When you click resume, the registration will continue and the marker that marks the set interval will be inserted automatically. The patient must start and release the button at the sound of each click. As soon as you hear a click through the earpiece, press and release the button. Registration will pause automatically after 10 clicks. Examine the data. If correct, go to the next step. If wrong, click redo and repeat the previous steps. After 10 clicks, the final record should resemble the one shown on the screen. SHA-4 test set intervals 2. Click resume. When you click resume, the registration will continue and a marker marking re-examine set intervals will be inserted automatically. The patient must press and release the button at the sound of each click. As soon as you hear a click through the earpiece, press and release the button. Examine the data. If correct, go to the next step. If wrong, click redo and repeat the previous steps. Click Done. When you click Done, a window with options will appear. When selecting the Write Another Patient option, remember that each patient must use a unique file name. Transfer your file by clicking Copy and Paste to a flash drive up to 4 GB in size. Turn off the headphones and the manual switch. End of registration. After completing registration, return to the study room to analyze the data. Data analysis. 1. Insert the flash drive into the computer in the study room and open the saved file. Select Review Saved Data from the lesson menu. Two. Set up your display window for optimal review of the first case marker and the response of the first lobe of data. 3. Set up the measurement boxes as follows: CH1, delta T, CH1 none. The measurement boxes are located above the marker area in the data window. Each measurement has 3 sections: channel number, measurement type, and result. The first 2 sections are triggered menus, which are activated when you click on them. A brief description of these measurements: delta I, time measurement, is the time difference between the end and the beginning of the sampled area. None, the measurement channel is off. Selected area is the area selected by the I-beam tool. 4. Select the area from the first case marker to the edge of the first response and note the delta T measurement. The first case marker indicates the beginning of the snapping stimulus. The beginning edge of the oscillation indicates when the button is first pressed. The oscillation threshold to calculate the response time is 1.5 mV. 5. Look at the first reaction time result in the logbook and compare this to the delta T measurement found above. The two measurements should be approximately similar. 6. Repeat the steps above for the other oscillation until you are sure the log entries are accurate. Seven. Move your data from the log to the data log. 8. Save the file and exit the program. 9. Collect data from at least 5 other students in your group to complete the protocol. As you finish entering the data, answer the questions below. Conclusion. Reaction time is important, because good response time allows us to be flexible and efficient in responding to different stimuli and situations, when talking, driving, or playing sports. Success and good luck in getting the job done.